Hi everyone, welcome to the Robert Show. We are here at DataDriven 2026. It's almost been a year when we were here for the conference 25, and Sushant is back on the Robert Show. So excited to have you back, and excited to chat about obviously all the great announcements that you all have made yesterday at the keynote. But also I'm kind of curious to know what's happening at Reltio, what are customers talking, what's the roadmap, much more. But before we get into all of those, would you like to quickly introduce yourself? Tell us more about what you do at Reltio, Sushant.
Thanks, Ravit, and welcome back at DataDriven.
Yeah.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone. I lead the product management team here at Reltio, and really excited. DataDriven 2026 is off to an amazing start. We have some great speakers, and we have made some great announcements as well.
Nice.
As you know, Ravit, right? Reltio fuels Agentic AI with it's a context intelligence platform.
Yes.
So that's the whole discussion has been so far. The way customers are talking about it. Our analysts are speaking about and how important the context is to ground your AI initiatives, right? AI without the proper context of the data that you already hold in the enterprise will not yield the results, not yield the outcomes that you're expecting, and that's
Right.
where Reltio benefits our customers, right?
Yep.
So that is the theme, and that is where we are going to double down and then help our customers achieve their agentic outcomes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thanks for those insights. I'm kind of also curious because we spoke last year.
Yeah.
You all made some fantastic announcements.
Right.
This year again, you all have some very interesting announcements for the
Right.
customers, and I could see the customers being excited about that as
Yeah.
well. So I would love to know from you what has changed, and from 2025 to 26, and what's also the roadmap ahead. But tell me about what things have changed, and what have you all achieved in terms of the announcements that you all had made.
No, absolutely, right? So if you remember last year, we spoke about how data unification is the key,
Yes,
right? And we
yes.
had doubled down on
Yep.
that, right? We made a lot of investments over the year in AI capabilities, like using semantic matching with large language models
Right.
to find more match pairs and then help customers achieve much better data unification, right? We have brought out more, I would say, enrichment capabilities for even better data unification that customers can then use as a better context for AI. What has changed is, I would say, two parts. One is customers acknowledging much more the need for data unification,
Yep.
right, with Reltio Data Cloud, extending that with a full 360-degree view. But what there is is a realization on how agentic AI, the automation that it brings it for both complex business data governance as well as business operations, that can be a foundation that they can use to drive efficiencies across their enterprise, right? So that changed toward the year, and that also was very effective for us because we made early bets and major investments in Q1 of last year, just after DataDriven, I would say, to invest, and we launched an agentic platform called Reltio Agent Flow,
Yes.
and that has gained major traction over the last few months. So you'll hear a lot about Agent Flow, and then you'll see a lot of it on the floor as well.
Yeah, no, I love it. Thanks for sharing those details. I'm kind of curious to learn a little bit about the agent flow.
Yes.
How are the customers using it? What obviously, what is the community talking about it, and how is it helping the enterprises to get from point A to point B very quickly? Because in the last 1 year, at least, what I've heard from a lot of solution providers is more around the agents, but now from the enterprise leaders, it was 2025 was the year of the implementation, which they definitely did. And now when I talk to enterprise leaders, they have one question for me is, we know agents work, but we want to know what agents we can trust for the business outcome. So what are your thoughts around that? Tell us more about agent flow, and then maybe around the trust factor.
Definitely. Let me take some time to talk about Agent Flow. So Reltio
Yep.
Agent Flow is Reltio's agentic orchestration suite, where we provide customers an ability to get the context out
Yep.
of Reltio Data Cloud, the Reltio MDM or Reltio Intelligent 360,
Yep.
and use that context to build agents and automate their processes,
Yep.
right? It started with a MCP server that we launched in May timeframe, and customers have been using MCP server to build their own agents in, let's say, a Copilot or any of similar agentic applications.
Yes.
But when we launched Agentflow as a platform where Reltio is now building out-of-the-box agents, and customers are using these agents for data governance processes like match resolution or address enrichment or merging and unmerging, or even business operations, for example, using their customers' profile, interaction history, purchases, tickets to just say, hey, what products can I upsell or a cross sell? So product recommendation kind of agents used to be used in, let's say, customer service scenarios.
I
So
love it.
these
Yeah.
are some of the agents that we built, but we went one step ahead and we are announcing this week that now on Agent Flow we have an agent builder. Customers can
Agent builder.
build an agents using an agent within Reltio
Oh,
and then
nice.
deploy it on their own. So no, you don't need a lot of skill sets to now start building agents. It starts with a simple prompting, and we'll take care of everything in the background, right?
Nice. I was,
So
I was kind of always thinking about, sorry to interrupt you, but I was kind of always, hearing that, oh, agents are talking to agents, but now agents are building agents. So that is something new and pretty cool.
absolutely, right? We have to simplify it extremely for our customers, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of noise,
Yeah.
and all customers care about are outcomes that they want from the product. So we have built a capability that they can, customers can build agents themselves running on Reltio. I would also like to point out we have a team of forward deployed engineers that work with customers every day on their business process to build custom engineers, right? And that is an investment that we make with
I love it.
customers, right?
Yeah.
So we have at least 5 customers who have built these different agents in data governance. One of our customers is going to talk about it on the stage today as well,
Nice. Can't
for
wait
a
to hear
match
that.
resolution agent that they have built with Reltio, right? And as you earlier asked about, right, about the trust, right? So absolutely, that's a question for us as well. So we are bringing out capabilities around agent evals or agent performance,
I love it.
right? Full
Yeah.
observability, transparency, and explainability. What is the agent doing? Why did it take a decision? And then, with a complete history and complete auditability, where you can reverse a decision as well, right?
Yeah.
So keeping everything in mind, complete privacy, and agent flow works on top of Reltio, right? So it uses the same authentication and authorization capabilities so that customers can be fully confident
Confident.
that they will get the outcomes that they need from an agentic perspective and drive efficiency across the enterprise.
Yeah, definitely makes a lot of sense, and it also gives customer that confidence about who owns the data here
Yes,
and what permissions have been given to the agent
absolutely.
because it works on top of Reltio, so it just makes their job easier.
Yes.
So I love that. One quick question around the roadmap.
Yes.
How do you see 2026 in the next 6 to 8 months? What is planned? Tell us more about that. I know agent flow will be a topic which will be obviously be spoken for a while because all the customers would be
Yep.
adapting it and we'll be getting more use cases out of it. But tell us more about the roadmap. How do you see things moving? Because in the world where we are, I think in the last 1 year, things have changed so much.
Absolutely.
And I'm pretty sure in the next 6 to 8 months, there will be so many different things which would happen. But as obviously a product management team, how do you all kind of see the roadmap coming together?
Oh, we have a really, really exciting roadmap, and as you just said, right, nobody plans in years anymore. So let me talk about a few things, right?
Yeah.
Continuing with the theme of agent flow is that we continue to invest in building more agents that customers can just use, but more platform capabilities like build agent builders. We're bringing new capabilities to further fuel the context that customers need. So, for example, unstructured data, right? Reltio has always been a leader in unifying structured data, but Reltio Agent Flow Unstructured is a capability that can look into customers' file repositories for documents, images, videos, call transcripts, right? And then extract insights out of them and feed the Reltio's intelligent data graph, right?
Right.
So we are starting with documents immediately, and customers will have access to. They can point it to their SharePoint, Google Drive, or AWS buckets. We will be
Nice.
able to extract insights, automatically map it to Reltio data model, right?
Pretty
We will
interesting.
build advanced RAG pipelines on those documents and make them searchable for across enterprise and have agents on top of that. The other big thing that we are going to launch later in the year is agent flow quality, right? High quality data is the foundation for everything, right? We both know. So with Reltio Agent Flow Quality, customers will be able to use Agentic AI to improve the quality of the data at source, even before bringing it to Reltio. So we will be able to connect it to, let's say, a repository in Databricks or Snowflake or any custom storage or databases, the AI will read the schema, suggest data quality rules.
Love it.
Of course, customers can get their own rules, give a complete profile, give tools for troubleshooting, root cause analysis, anomaly detection, finally remediate the data
Right.
in agent flow quality, and automatically map and load it in Reltio. So this is coming up in second half of the year for the agent flow.
Nice.
Right? So with a full agentic semantic layer on top of it, agent flow will become the tool that customers can use to use agentic AI in their enterprise. Right? Other parts of the roadmap, we have started investing, I would say late last year, in zero copy, right? What we have seen as feedback from customers always that, hey, data movement is expensive, both
Yes.
time, effort, and now cloud data warehouses specifically allow zero copy as a technology. So we have already started releasing. We have zero copy with Databricks already, and coming up with Snowflake, and we
Nice.
have a strong roadmap of zero copy for Microsoft Fabric and Redshift for rest of the year as well. So whether you want to get data in using zero copy or data out to cloud data warehouses, zero copy is the way to go. And
Love it.
pipelines are, you can see they're having.
Yeah,
an,
no, I
right?
think great
Yeah.
partnership announcements obviously kind of
course.
coming up as
Yeah.
well, and curious obviously to see how that kind of moves. And this seems to be very strong and very good move for at least for the customers. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. One last thing,
Yeah,
sorry, I
go
want to
ahead.
point out, right? Sorry, too excited.
Yeah.
And data unification, right, which is the core of the platform that we do.
Right.
We spoke about Fern last year, right? We doubled down on our flexible entity resolution network, which is using large language models for matching,
Yep.
right? We are expanding it, making customers to build ML comparators to further find better matches
Yep.
in their products. Bring out a brand new capability called Reltio Identity Builder, which has a US-based specific individuals or person data set that will have all the recent indicators on their demographic data, including indicators like deceased or change of addresses. So customers will always have real data,
Real
which is
data set.
current,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then that will improve data unification even further, right? So that is something I wanted to highlight that, hey, that remains core, and then we to the business, and we continue to invest heavily.
Yeah.
Because that's what will feed the context, right?
I love it. I love it. That is exactly what I was going to ask about
Oh.
the data unification
Yeah.
piece, and you mentioned it. Great minds think alike, right?
Right.
All right, Sushant. One last question for
Yes.
you is: if folks want to learn about all the announcements that you all make,
Yes.
where can they find all these announcements? Obviously, LinkedIn is a place. Maybe they can follow you and stay updated. But I think Reltio also kind of puts out all the
Oh,
press
yes.
releases, and obviously through blogs as well. You all keep
Yes.
the audience informed.
Multiple channels, right? As you said, LinkedIn is a place. A lot of great content in there. DataDriven 2026 has a website, right? All the content, all sessions will be posted there. So I
Nice.
recommend,
Oh, nice.
going. I mean, give us a few days, and everything will be there, so you can go back and watch everything. Reltio Community, just Google search it. Reltio Community has a website, a lot of great content there.
Nice, nice.
And Reltio website has a lot of informative blogs as well. So multiple channels. Just ask me a question anywhere.
Awesome. Sushant, always such a pleasure hosting you on the Ravit Show. We'll keep the ball rolling and keep chatting with other folks and customers and partners here. But once again, thanks for putting such a great show. 2026 Data Driven is fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for watching us today.